All right. I believe IBO Sports Network. Such a time as this. This is our Tuesday, it's Wednesday. We didn't have it last night. We had some stuff come up, but it's our weekly podcast, and we got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about some stuff going on with IBO Orange, some sponsorships, some events we're going to be doing. We're going to break it down on basketball. We're going to go into baseball in the opening season, the rankings, and then we'll get into football in the spring game. So, anyways, this is sponsored by Groucho's Deli and Basketball Golf, Country Club and Golf Course. So anyways, we were just talking about basketball before we went live. And I can't talk enough about this basketball team. And I was listening to the Roar today, and everybody's saying the same thing. We're 17-4 overall. We're 9-1 in the ACC. We got several quad one wins. We've lost 4 games. 2 of those have been in overtime. And
unfortunately, one of them to the Gamecocks.
One to the Gamecocks. We lost to Kentucky, who last I checked was the number 3 seed. And we're coming up on a Duke game. And just from what I've seen and what I saw last year, and about us going to the Final 8, and then about us going to the Final 8 and losing, we have only done that twice, and then getting ranked 16th when the season starts off, and we're not even ranked in the top 25. We're ranked 30th. There's a lot of disrespect going on for Clemson basketball, and
I'm shocked we're not being like ranked in the AP poll at all. Like, I just don't understand why there's no ranking for us in the AP poll when we've won, if I'm not mistaken, like 9 straight games.
We've won 8 out of the last 7 out of the last 8.
Yeah, but I think it's been like straight wins, no losses between the last.
I think you're right. The last game we lost was I went to it actually. It was
what was that? Not against the Gamecocks? Was our last win or last loss?
It was Memphis. It was Memphis. Me and Mike went. It was a Saturday at 11 a.m. and we lost in overtime. And Memphis,
we lost since then. We lost to the Gamecocks since then.
That was the last time we lost.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the last loss we've had was against the Gamecocks in overtime, and that makes us like, I don't know, like 10 straight wins, and we're not even getting recognized by the AP poll. It's kind of getting ridiculous.
It's kind of like where football started around about 2015, 16, you know?
Yeah,
And I don't care the AP poll and whatever, and the people who vote on that and look at it, your name is Duke, your name is Kentucky, your name is Connecticut, your name is Auburn, somebody like that, you're automatically ranked in the top 10. It seems like no matter what kind of season you had. And we only lost really like one guy. And I think it's actually good because it gives us some fuel to run on, you know. We've always played better when we're disrespected.
I just looked at this up, all right? So, we lost to Memphis, okay? Overtime. Saturday, 12-14, okay? The very next game, South Carolina, lost overtime. That was 12-17. All right? We have not lost a game since 12-21.
And what game was that, South Carolina?
So the last loss was against South Carolina in December.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast during that.
Since then, we've won Wake Forest, Miami, Stanford, California, Louisville, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Pitt, Syracuse, and Virginia Tech was the last game. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight wins.
And none of them been close. Really?
Well, Clemson, Miami was 10 points.
That's probably like 3 or 4 points.
Stanford, 85-71. California, 80-68. Clemson, Louisville. I take that back. I'm sorry, my bad. I misread. We did lose to Louisville, was the last loss.
That was in January.
And that was January 7th. Last time we lost was to Louisville. And since then, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight wins.
Okay.
But according to this, we are looking at let me see here standings.
We're 9-1 in the ACC.
We're third in the ACC.
We're tied for second, actually.
Technically, yes, we are tied for second. So you got Duke at number 1 in the AC with 10-0. Louisville 9-1 and us 9-1.
Yeah, we're 9-1. They may have a better out record, but 9-1, 9-1. Dude, I'm just saying, I think this is the best basketball team we've ever had, and I believe we're going to the Final Four this year.
I just still don't understand why we're not in the top 25.
They were talking about the Roar, man. They've all been.
I mean, according to this,
you know how our name is Clemson.
Yeah,
and they don't. That used to us to have a good basketball team.
Yeah. Well, you know how you got the top 25, right? And then they say others receiving votes.
Yeah.
So technically, according to this, we would be technically ranked. Let's see, 26, 27, 28. We would be technically ranked 29th.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what our technical rank is right now.
Look at our record. You look at the polls right now. Look at our record. I mean,
you got Vanderbilt 16.
Look at somebody with a 17 or 14 record that's ahead of us, and how high they rank. And I want to hear their name.
Well, let's see. You got UConn.
Okay, what do they rank?
They're 25th, and they're 14-6.
They're worse. What I actually said UConn. I said Connecticut. Your name's Connecticut.
Then you got Vanderbilt at 16-4. Then you got Miss at 15-5. You got TTU at 15-4. Louisville is in there at 15-5. Mizzou 16-4. Memphis 16-4. Another Illinois ranked 18, sitting at 14-6.
What's the highest ranked team with 4 losses besides us?
Highest ranked team with 4 losses. You want to hear this? Purdue.
Where they rank?
They're ranked number 10.
I knew it, man.
And they are 16-5.
16-5, and we're 17-4.
Then you got Kentucky, who is ranked 14-5. They're ranked number 11 at 14-5.
14-5, and we beat them.
No, hold on. I had that wrong. Kansas.
Okay.
Kansas is 14-5, ranked number 11.
What's Kentucky?
Kentucky is ranked number 12 at 14-5.
And we beat them. And we're 17-4.
Then you got Texas A&M, who's 13 at 15-5. Mississippi State 16-4 at number 14. SJU 17-3 at 15.
Yeah.
Then you got Oregon, Wisconsin. They're sitting at 16-4 at 16-17. But then, like I said, Illinois 18 at 14-6. You got all these teams that has more losses than us.
And they're right
in the top 25.
And even the team that we beat is number 12, and they got a worse record than we are, Kentucky.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to beat Duke.
Duke's sitting at number 2 right now. Auburn, who's winning at 18-1 at the number 1 spot.
Auburn is, okay. Where's Tennessee?
It's kind of like that whole, I don't know. It's little old Clemson. Here we are again, but on the basketball side of it.
And I think it helps us, actually. I think it kind of burns us and gives us a little fuel for the fire for the fuel.
But in all fairness, though, it really don't matter in basketball. Like
all
where
that matters, you get a decent seed and you get in the.
Like I said, it really. I mean, okay, so I take that back. It does really matter because it will matter where you're seated. Yeah, we don't want to get a low seed and then have to face some high-ranking team and get blasted in the first round. That's the only thing I hope that we, don't have to deal with.
Well, I mean, I see us winning out, except, I ain't going to lie to you, I'm a little nervous about Duke, but I think the fact that they've been building this thing up is at Little John, we got a freaking chance to take down Duke. We took down Kentucky. Hey, how many games has Duke lost? 1? Only 1.
No, okay. Two.
Okay. We lost 4. And 2 of those were in overtime, could have gone either way. We got a chance to Duke. main thing is
Auburn's the only one. Auburn is the only one that has not lost, or they have lost a game, but they only lost one.
Auburn, and they're number one.
Yeah.
Where's
Tennessee?
Duke
is 17-2, and Auburn is 18-1.
Okay. Well, Auburn ought to be number one.
Let's see here. Who did Duke lose to? Auburn's only loss is to Duke.
Really?
Yeah. They played, and Duke beat them 84-78.
Okay.
And that was in December.
So Duke's good. Duke's the Goliath. We're the David, I guess, in the ACC.
And Kentucky,
maybe Clemson and Duke in the ACC championship.
So Duke lost to Kansas, and then the very next game they lost to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first. That was in November. Which it blows my mind. Like, how is Duke number 2? They lose to Kansas first off, the first game of the season. Then they lose to Kentucky the very next game.
And we beat Kentucky too.
And then, Duke doesn't lose a game since.
Okay. So Duke lost to Kentucky. We beat Kentucky.
Beating the number 1 team.
Yeah. They beat the number 1 team. They lost to Kentucky. We beat Kentucky. So do your math. I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen. And I do feel like this team has that team that could go in there and actually beat Duke, So,
yeah.
If everybody plays healthy and we don't make these stupid mistakes that we were making in the last few games that allow these teams to kind of make it close, it seemed like, there was a couple games that, like, they could not miss a 3-point. Like, it was just like 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And I was like, wow.
Our biggest thing is turnovers. We don't turn the ball over. We're good usually.
Yeah.
And that's killed us.
And that was that one game that they were just like, it was like every time you turn around, they were turning the ball over. Either a foul or missed dribble or just missed the shot or just whatever.
That's why we lost the Carolina game, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So basketball, we're not far from March. A little over a month or so. We're in the big dance, no matter what. But
and that's hey, I think we're going to make the 64-man team, obviously, but
Oh, we're in that. There's no doubt about that. I think it's the best basketball team we've ever had, and so we'll see. Excuse me. I'm gonna get this thing going on YouTube here. So they announced the spring game. It's always in April. It's coming up April 5th at 1 p.m. We'll probably be doing a show like we did last year. Now that I got a date, I can sell that show. Football. Coming off 24-25 season, Dabo actually earned last year's title as Clemson's most winningest coach. So Dabo actually ranked number 7 among active coaches now. Only one of actually we play LSU in the first game, and Brian Kelly's actually number 8 in the opening game.
I hated to see Ohio State win the national title, but what are you going to do? Notre Dame had their chance and just kind of squandered it.
Yeah. They won it 2013, 14. So they're kind of deep.
Notre Dame hasn't won a national title since the 80s.
No, I'm talking about Ohio State.
It was like 2014, I think it was. I don't know. I think they were the first one to win the 4-man or 4-team championship, but I'm kind of a little bitter that they go in and make the playoffs, not playing in their conference championship, and then go and blast through the whole playoff and ended up winning the national title and didn't even go to their conference championship. Lost to one of the worst teams in the Big Ten, Michigan. Like, I don't know. It just
right.
It's like one of those things. Like, how is it that they should be the national title winners and you didn't really accomplish anything getting there, other than you made your run in the playoffs?
Well, that's what they did, actually.
That's why it's kind of like me.
They did look good in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know what happened.
Bitter over this. If you shouldn't be able to play a playoff game without having a conference title.
Yeah, you should be able. You should or should not.
I feel like you should not be in the playoffs if you did not win your conference title.
So you got to. If that's the case, you got to have 12 conference title winners.
There's more than 12 conferences.
Well, I mean, if you're saying you got to win your conference, you got to have 12 teams.
Right, but I'm saying there's more than 12 conferences.
Yeah, you got to pick 12 strongest ones, though.
No, you don't have to. Why has it got to be the 12 strongest teams? Why can't it just be all conference champions? You win your conference championship, you're in the playoffs.
Okay, so how many conferences are there? A lot of conferences, if you want to break it down like that. Then you got Walford,
there's definitely more than 12. I think the last time I looked at this, I think there's like 14 or something like that.
Is that all?
I believe so.
Really? Okay.
Well, let's see. You got ACC, SEC, Big 10, Big 12.
So you're saying if a team's number one in the nation and they go all the way to their conference championship, they're number one, and they have a bad day and they lose by 1 point, they shouldn't go?
Yeah.
I mean, you're saying there are more than 12 conferences. I mean, you're talking, like Citadel or Walford couldn't be in.
You got the Sun Belt, you got the Mountain West, you got Pac-12, you got the American Conference. Like, there's a lot of conferences out there. Why can't they have their shot?
Yeah, well, I get it. Okay.
I mean, do we always have to just watch teams from the Big Power 4, Power 5, whatever you want to call it nowadays?
Well, how many SEC teams do we have in this time?
It was the SEC Big 10 Invitational this year.
Yeah, we had Tennessee in there.
It was all Big
Georgia,
10, SEC,
Texas,
and ACC. There was no other conference other than Boise State,
which is in the Mountaineer Conference.
They're in the Mountain West.
Mountain West. Okay.
So the only two teams that were really like in there that
you had two ACC teams and you had 3 or 4 SEC teams.
Yeah. You had all Big 10, you had all ACC, and you had all Big 10, all SEC. You had only 2 teams from the SEC. You had an independent, Notre Dame, and you had a Mountain West, and you had a Big 12.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, that's the way they're doing it now.
But I'm just saying, like, all these SEC and Big 10 teams did not deserve to be there.
I agree with you, man. Yeah.
And the only Big 10 team that survived was Ohio State, and they didn't even play in their conference title. Wasn't even
and they lost to Michigan.
Like I said, they weren't even there. They didn't even go to the game. It'd be one thing if you went and played in your conference title and lost, like SMU. SMU was in the conference championship game, but they lost to Clemson. And that was why they got to go, because they only had 2 losses. Right. 2 quality losses.
Right.
That's why they were in, and that's the way it should be. You know, Ohio State loses to Michigan, loses to Oregon. Really? Do they really? They didn't even go to their Big 10 championship game. Why are they in?
Well, it's still better than where it was before playoffs.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. I just feel like, give the smaller schools, give the smaller conferences a chance. I
agree with you. I agree with you.
It doesn't always have to be just Big 10, SEC, and ACC, and why can't the Mountain West have a team? Why can't the Sun Belt have a team? Why can't UCF make it? Why can't Hawaii make it?
Hawaii.
I'm not saying they're going to.
I know they got a football team. I've never seen them.
Why can't they have their moment? You give them their moment in the first round playoff. They make it to the first round as a conference champion. All right.
Well, I mean, you may be going somewhere. I mean, it's all about money. That's what everything's coming down to. And they want to expand it beyond 12 games. You'll have more. I'm fine with that. But I mean, football's a little bit different than basketball. You can play a basketball game on a Monday, turn around and play on a Wednesday. You can't do that in football.
And I get that, but and I understand. Everybody was like, look, we don't want to watch, Clemson play whoever.
Well, I agree.
Out 80 something.
I like the idea of the top four got to bye. Is that how it works?
Top four,
regardless
four conference
the top four rank, regardless of whether they win their championship or not.
Nope,
if they're top four, they probably won their championship.
No, that's not true. That is not true.
Okay.
The four that gets the bye, is the top four highest ranked conference champion.
Okay.
So you had to have won your conference championship to be in the 4 bye week.
Right. You could be number 5, still get in there.
You could be ranked 8th. Yeah. But as long as you're the highest ranked conference champion from another team, then yes, you get the first week bye.
Okay. All right. So baseball.
For instance, this happened on my my college football video game. Okay, Clemson played Boston College in the conference championship. Clemson was undefeated and ranked number 1 going into the conference championship game.
What are you talking about? You're talking about
it's in the video game.
Video thing. Okay.
All right. This is a perfect example of what I'm trying to say. So Boston College in the video game beats Clemson in the conference championship.
Right.
Giving Clemson its first loss.
Okay.
However, Boston College makes it to the playoff. They got put in the 4 teams.
Okay.
Clemson had to play first round because they did not win their conference championship. Boston College was the highest ranked conference champion because they beat Clemson in the conference championship.
That makes sense.
That's how it works.
I don't have a problem with that at all, actually.
Yeah, but that's how it works. That's kind of like a perfect explanation is Clemson was undefeated. Their only loss was to Boston College. Well, that doesn't automatically give them the first 4 games or the 4 teams of the bye week.
Yeah.
Boston College got it because they won the conference championship. And even though they weren't higher ranked than Clemson.
Keep talking.
But, so I'm excited. I think the basketball team is looking good. I think our baseball team is looking good coming into the spring. I can't wait for that to get started. And, I think you got some big news that we're working on with hosting a charity golf tournament that we're still working.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. I went by the Bosco Country Club, talked to the owner. Everything went well, and we're planning on having it the 24th. The golf tournament's going to be on the 24th. So we're looking for players, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. 40 minimum, 125 maximum. We're going to do a captain's choice. We're looking for sponsorships. We're looking to market and advertise to a lot of different outlets. I've got a caterer already. Got somebody I just got a quote on some stuff. It's going to be a sponsor sponsors us. It's going to bring in the food. And I'm looking to do some stuff maybe Friday and Saturday. And this year we're going to do it in May simply because it's just getting started. But what I plan on doing, like you said earlier when I talked to you on the phone, I think it should be something we do during the spring game every year from now on.
Yeah.
So the following year, 2026, what we'll do is we'll have something on Friday. We'll have something during spring game, a couple events. Everybody will go to the spring game, and then we'll have the golf tournament that Sunday. But we're doing it for a good cause. We're going to raise some money for cancer research and awareness. And I'm waiting on Randy to get back in touch with me, and we may do some stuff with Clemson family, because they've done a lot of stuff with the kids and stuff, and I think they're going to jump on board. And you're an orange and white thing. We're not competing with them. We're just doing it at a different time.
Yeah, and that's why it's like I don't want to do anything close to their event because what Wayne Buckingham has going on is a great organization. They've got a great setup, and I don't want to interfere with that at all.
Yeah, we're not. So, we're going to be doing it about 70, 80 days away from when.
Yeah, I think
it's April to May, May to June, June to July.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. We do something in the spring. He's got that late summer, fall, whatever you want to call it, August time period. And, it kind of,
we're just going to plan on doing it.
His weekend event is usually the weekend before opening day. So,
So we're going to do some banners, some signs, some shirts, and some stuff that everybody, sponsors come on and put their stuff on there.
So yeah, I think it's a great idea, and obviously we will be putting more details together and getting that set up.
I'll take you on the website. We're working out the pricing and everything else. This, like I said, this came into place today.
Yeah, the first inaugural I Bleed Orange Golf Charity Tournament coming up in May. And we're going to hope to, move that to where it's more closer to the spring game, kind of celebrate the spring game a little bit, and giving all Clemson fans a chance to come out, watch spring game, play some golf.
We might give away more. We got to work on the details. A lot of details working here.
Yeah.
And for do a hole-in-one, you win a brand new Kia or a brand new Ford or a brand new Toyota. Those 3 sponsors I can talk to that are actually sponsors of ours.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll be willing to get on board with that. And, hey, we already know that the first inaugural event may not be as big as others, but, it'll grow. It'll grow.
Yeah, we're looking for 40. 40 is minimum.
Get the right people out there and put on a good event and have fun. I mean, the main event is have fun and raise money for a good charity. So
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I've already got like 10 people.
Yeah.
Just out of you and Brad, some people I talk to. So we leave, we'll get to 40. 40 is the minimum. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get to 125. 125, he says, the maximum. And so, yeah, we got some good ideas about that. So let's see. We'll do some giveaways. Anything else you can think of? Baseball starting up.
Yeah, like I said, baseball starting up. We got technically a bye week in basketball this week, so there's no basketball on this week as far as the men's team goes.
Football with
the next game for men's basketball will be Saturday, February 1st.
And then Tuesday.
NC Saturday, actually. I said it was a bye week this week, but we haven't had anything.
Oh, we had a whole week. We had a Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. We haven't had anything for a whole week here, so it's been like a little bit of a bye week, if you will.
Yeah.
The next game will be Clemson going to North Carolina State. That is a Saturday at 1:30 p.m. on the CW Network.
Yeah.
So tune in to the CW Network for the men's basketball.
Georgia Tech's coming to town Tuesday. I think that's
women's basketball.
Then we got Duke coming up on that next one, and then
women's basketball will play Boston College on Sunday. Sunday.
The actually doing good.
They're okay. I mean, we're sitting at 11-10.
We're going.
We're 11-10. Nothing to go crazy about.
But it's better than we were last year.
Yeah. So they got so women's basketball, they play Sunday, February 2nd at 2:00 p.m. on the ACC Extra. And then that Thursday, February 6th, they played number 10th ranked Duke at Duke on Thursday at 7 p.m.
Huh, okay.
So we'll probably be, I don't know, this Boston College game might actually be good. We're 11-10, they're 12-10.
Well, just think about a month from now, we won't quite be there, but because the ACC championship always is around. Was like the 1st of April. No, it's actually in March.
Yeah.
We got February, ACC, you go through February, and then you get into March Madness. The ACC tournament's usually the 1st of March, and then you get into March Madness. I think March 1st through 10th, and then March Madness starts. So we're not too far away. About a month away from the ACC championship.
I actually kind of looking at the women's schedule right now. Man, they've got to run a gauntlet. They
played South Carolina yet?
Yeah, they played South Carolina and they got beat. I already knew that.
Yeah, everybody gets beat by them.
But no, they got to run a gauntlet right here in February. So they go. All right. So they play Boston College, then they play Duke. All right. Then they host number 15th ranked North Carolina.
Yeah.
Then they have to host number 20th ranked Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Then they go to SMU, then they go to Pitt, and then they go to Louisville. And that's it for February. And they only have one game in March versus Virginia Tech.
Okay.
But, man, that's a little bit of a gauntlet. You got 10th ranked Duke, 15th ranked North Carolina right after that, and then 20th ranked Georgia Tech right after that. There's 3 tough games right in a row. 2 of those on the road. No, I take that back. They play Duke in Duke. Then we host North Carolina, and then we host Georgia Tech as the women's basketball team. So, I mean, if they won those 3 straight games, man, that would put a statement on the board right there.
Okay. So let's break down. We got 25 Clemson football schedule. We got August 30th. We got LSU. That is at Clemson. That is a night game, I believe. I think I saw 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. They announced that.
I've got August 30th to be TBD. To be
announced. They announced the time. I think that will be an ESPN game day. I'm hoping it's a night game, or at least a 3:30.
I can't imagine it not being, but I know that the way too early top 25 has us sitting at rank number 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
And LSU's in there somewhere, right? South Carolina's like right behind us.
No, actually, the last one I saw had Georgia, South Carolina, and us, and it was like 6, 7, and 8.
Okay.
Georgia 6, South Carolina 7, and us 8.
You got Ohio State at 1.
Oh, well.
Texas in there too, or something like that. Anyways, I was listening to Roar. This was actually like the toughest schedule we've had, actually, since we've been to the playoffs. Besides this year, we got Troy. That's not really going to be a big game.
I mean, we play LSU. Then we have Troy. Then we got
Georgia Tech is a good team, man. I'm telling you, that new coach.
Yeah, I mean, they could be scary. Then we got Syracuse, North Carolina, Boston.
And they're predicting. I've heard several people North Carolina,
Duke, Florida State, Louisville, Furman, and then South Carolina.
Yeah, SMU's going to be good. Florida State, I don't know. Louisville's good. South Carolina's going to be good. Furman's Furman. I don't know why we're having these Furman Citadel games at the end of the year, but anyways. I'm looking to go undefeated or to maybe somehow lose one game. Either whether if we do lose a game, it'll be either LSU or South Carolina. If we are to lose a game, I'd rather lose the first game than the last game. But we have a chance, I think, to go undefeated. I think SMU is going to be good coming back.
Hey, look, we've got a new defensive coordinator.
Oh, and I'm excited about him. More I've read about him, studied him. I think he's exactly what we needed.
The entire offense is coming back. Entire defense that was a really young defense. They're going to be back.
The defense coordinator.
Like I said, we got this new defensive coordinator who's going to be, implementing a new game plan. And, I think we definitely will repeat going back to the playoffs. I don't know. I don't think we'll lose a game. I'm going to say it now. I don't think we're going to lose a regular season game. I wholeheartedly believe we're going to beat LSU. I know we're going to beat South Carolina because we're playing in South Carolina, and we haven't lost there. And I can't even remember the last time we've lost in South Carolina. We have to go back to the early 2010, 2011 time period.
Yeah, when Dabo first started.
That's the last time we've lost.
I'll go with that. I mean, just like I see us going all the way. We can. I mean, there could always be a trip-up game like the 2016 when we lost to Pittsburgh, that last-minute kick.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you never know. I'm interested to see what North Carolina does because Bill Belichick coming in. I mean,
I don't know if that's going to be –
it may take a year or two. Some people are predicting North Carolina to be in the playoffs next year.
Yeah, I don't see that. I mean, come on. You got to – Belichick's got to he's going to at least have to have a year to get the players on board with what he's trying to do, and 2, start to get the recruits that he wants in there for his system. See, a lot of people don't realize.
It takes a couple years to get it going.
Things don't just happen overnight because, especially on the head coach side of things, a head coach comes in, they have a whole different scheme of how they want the offense to go and how they want the defense to go. And it doesn't happen overnight. That first season, I can't.
Dabo came in when 2009 or 7.
Yeah,
and he came in halfway in the season, and we won an ACC championship. Remember that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see.
We didn't go to the Natty
coming in North Carolina.
Yeah, it took 2000. I think it was 7 or 9. 7, 9, somewhere in there. I should know this. So let's just say it was 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I mean, what is that, 7 years? before we went to the Natty?
Well, yeah, I mean, Dabo took over.
Now, we started winning ACC championships. We started having 10-game.
Yeah, I mean, Dabo took over in the end of 08.
08, okay.
So he took over mid-season of 08.
08.
And was officially hired. Then he had an okay season in 09. In 2010, we go and, that's Taj Boyd and all of them. And, we have that good year right there. I think 2010, we
won the ACC championship.
We didn't win the ACC championship. It was 2011 was our first ACC championship.
2011, that's right. That's right.
Then you got the 12 and the 13 that we kind of didn't really do much. And then here comes Deshaun Watson in 2014 and really showed what we could do in 2014. And then 2015
Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl or whatever it was.
So 2015 we go to the Natty and lose to Alabama, and then 16 obviously we go and win.
And then 17, we go back.
It wasn't until 2011 that he got his first ACC championship.
Yeah, so it takes a couple of years.
Yeah.
With any coach, I think. But I think,
hey, Dabo, that was the one thing about Dabo is he was already on the team. He was already recruiting these players.
Yeah.
He was already getting the guys that he wanted. But then when he became head coach, he kind of really embedded those guys that he wanted. And, obviously it went on from there. But a lot of fans, they get mad about these, internal hires. I don't have a problem with internal hire. Like I said, Dabo Swinney was an internal hire.
Yeah.
He was the wide receivers coach.
Wasn't the right guy? Right guy. If not, then you need to hire outside.
Right. And, I think, a lot of people got upset. He internal hired here and he internal hired there. And then, of course, we go into this little slump. And then, all right, well, let's go get Garrett Riley. So he gets Garrett Riley. And now it's like, all right, well, Wes Goodwin, this was his first. Was it his bad season? I don't think Wes Goodwin had a bad season last year.
This was his
it just wasn't the right. Huh? It just wasn't a good fit. We needed someone to get us over the hump, and Wes Goodwin was not getting us over the hump.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad coach. I don't think he needs to be a head coach of defense, offense, or head. He's a guy that needs to be behind somebody. I don't think he has that leadership skills.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. I like Wes Goodwin, but I felt like he just wasn't ready to be a coordinator. I think he needed to be an on-hands coach, not an analyst, behind-the-scenes kind of guy. He needed to be out there on the field coaching these players and then take over as a coordinator maybe. But,
If you've been following Tom Allen, look at some of his videos and some stuff. He reminds me a lot of Brent. He's not as intense, but he is intense. But not as intense as Brent Venables, but he's got great people skills. He's able to relate to these guys, and he loves his job. He's got a passion for winning football.
Yeah,
and I think he's a good fit, man. I really do. I wasn't sure when they first announced him, but now I feel pretty good about him. I think he's a good fit. I think that's kind of the piece we're missing. We need a running back. We got T.J. Moore coming back. We got Westco coming back. We got receivers.
And
I think Cade coming back. Cade was unbelievable this year, really.
Yeah. And he had Heisman stats last year.
Yeah,
and
he may be up for Heisman this year. I don't really care if he wins it or not.
He had Heisman Trophy winning stats last year, and he wasn't even mentioned. But now he's already on the hot list as the front runner for next season already. I did see a thing that said, everybody's got Cade Klubnik up there as one of the front runners for the Heisman next year. You know what? I hope he does. I would love to finally see a Heisman Trophy come to Clemson when it's well-deserved. Taj Boyd had the best stats, better stats than Johnny Manziel, but yet Johnny Manziel won it.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson, everybody said they got it wrong. Instead of giving it, they should have never gave it to Lamar Jackson. Even Kurt Herbstreit said it live on TV during the national title, said, we got it wrong. That's your Heisman Trophy winner right there.
Who won it that year? Who won it when Deshaun didn't win it? I'm trying to think.
Huh?
You remember? Who won over Deshaun?
Lamar Jackson.
He beat Lamar Jackson.
Exactly.
And he won a national championship that year.
Lamar Jackson didn't have the
great.
great.
Lamar's good, but
he was. But if you go and you look at the stats, man, Deshaun Watson blew him away, and Lamar Jackson won it on the Syracuse game. You go back to that year, 2016, and watch the game, Louisville versus Syracuse. That's when he won the Heisman Trophy based on what he did against an inferior team of Syracuse that year.
Yeah.
And they gave it to him. He pretty much won the trophy in that game, and it was downhill after that. And like I said, Deshaun Watson turned it on at the end of the season. Yeah, he had a slow start, but then he turned it on at the end of the season, beating Lamar Jackson, taking us to the national title, and
we got into the clutch situation. And
exactly. And that's why I feel like the Heisman Trophy needs to wait until the season's completely over and be completely evaluated by the right people.
You shouldn't do the Heisman the first week in December. I agree with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you have Trevor Lawrence go in there for the Heisman, and he lost it. I'm trying to think. Do you remember who he lost to?
Who?
Trevor.
It's
a running back, wasn't it?
I don't even think he even got an invite to New York.
Yeah, I think he did.
I don't think he did.
I think he did. Let me look. Trevor.
I'm pretty confident that Trevor Lawrence wasn't even on the Heisman list.
I thought he did. I mean, Trevor did. I mean, Trevor's one of the best quarterbacks Clemson ever had. It's debatable between Deshaun and Trevor.
Well, Trevor Lawrence had the best freshman season, period. Hands down.
Oh, period. And he won a natty.
I mean, he made Alabama look like a high school team in that natty.
Yeah, he was like, 19 or something?
But I can't remember who he lost to or who won the Heisman that year. I want to say it was like a running back for Alabama, but I can't remember.
Trevor Lawrence has finished second in the – I knew he went because I remember watching or something. He'd win. He came in second next to Trevor Lawrence. Continues history making runs Tiger Tuesday night. Came only second player in history to place runner-up in the Heisman Trophy next to Sean. Alabama's quarterback Mac Jones and receiver Devontae Smith. That was when Devontae Smith won. Receiver for Alabama.
I mean, that would make sense, but Mac Jones, he was gone by then because it was Tagovailoa, however you say his name. He was the quarterback during the Trevor Lawrence game.
Yeah. No, I think Devontae Smith won.
Maybe. Yeah. I'll have to go back and look it up, but
I know that it doesn't say it says that he was in there. He came up.
I just don't remember him going to the Heisman show.
He was runner-up in 2020.
But Deshaun should have won it. Trevor Lawrence should have won it. And that's why I don't even care about the Heisman Trophy anymore, because I've learned that the Heisman Trophy has nothing to do with your stats. It's all about who ESPN picks, basically.
Right.
I mean, like I said, if you go back and you look at
Devontae Smith won that year.
If you go back and look at the stats that Taj Boyd had, and look at the stats that Johnny Manziel had, who won the Heisman Trophy that year, okay? Taj Boyd beat Johnny Manziel in every category but one.
Didn't Taj Boyd have most touchdowns by any quarterback?
Yes, but no. Yeah. So Johnny Manziel, the only category that Johnny Manziel beat Taj Boyd in was rushing touchdowns.
Which is not
Johnny Manziel had more rushing touchdowns than Taj Boyd that year.
And quarterbacks are not known for rushing. I mean,
no, but that's the point I'm trying to make.
Every once in a while, you get on the 1 or 2, 3 yard line, and
Johnny Manziel won the Heisman Trophy because he won. He was flashy. He would win. He would get touchdowns, like running like 500 yards this way, 500 yards that way, then come here, and then run in for a touchdown. And that's the thing that's funny is he got these flashy, like, spectacular touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. But that's the only category that he beat Taj Boyd in was rushing touchdowns. Taj had him beat in passing yards. Taj had him beat in rushing yards. Taj had him beat in every category, passing touchdowns. Like I said, the only one he didn't beat him in was rushing touchdowns. But yet Johnny Manziel won.
He wasn't even in the conversation either.
Yeah, but my point is Johnny wins the Heisman Trophy, and this guy had better stats. And I thought that the Heisman Trophy was supposed to go to the best overall player in college football.
Yeah. Well, I actually thought the best player in football was the running back for Boise State this year.
Oh, yeah, by far. He was.
But because he played for Boise State, he came in second.
The Boise State running back by far was one of the best running backs in the nation.
Ever. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, he almost broke Barry Sanders' record. But
and I'm surprised he didn't, but hey, it is what it is.
All right. Anything else? What we got? Anything?
So, hey, stay tuned. I Bleed Orange, first inaugural golf.
Go to ibleedorangeclub.com. I've got my IT guy putting on some stuff about this golf tournament. We're going to have the pricing and the package deals. Like I said, we just started this today. We're going to start promoting it.
Shout out to Groucho's Deli for coming on as a sponsor. Go get some good sandwiches from them.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Basketball coming back this Saturday, 1:30, I think, or 1 o'clock, 1:30 p.m. Catch the women's basketball. They're all playing really good ball right now. And,
baseball starts Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Baseball starts.
We got to mention Savannah Bananas. God, it's April. It's after the spring game. Savannah Bananas, they're going to be at Death Valley. They've already sold out, 81,000 people.
Yeah. And
that may be something that we will have a sponsor come on and do a show for. Mike said he had some tickets for me, but I saw the day it was sold out. So Savannah Bananas, you haven't seen them. It's a lot of fun to watch. You ever seen them play?
I've only seen videos.
It's funny, though. I mean, it's like Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, but they came back in August and played at Clemson. It went off pretty good, and they decided they need a bigger venue, so they've already sold out Death Valley. So that'd be something fun to watch.
That's crazy.
They do a show, get a sponsorship for that. But anyways,
all right. Stay tuned for a location for the spring game show. Stay tuned for big time information. Hey, it's only getting better from here. Fastest growing network in the nation.
Fastest growing, most exciting sports network in the nation. Let's go. Let's get it. All right.